Welcome to Trend Info Hub, Globe Brief Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for updates. At a private hangar in Manila, a Gulfstream G700 lands quietly, far from the public eye. It's July 2025, and a Russian oligarch steps onto Philippine soil, not for leisure but to make a statement. The West has closed its doors to Russian wealth, forcing a dramatic shift in global capital flows. Once welcomed in London and New York, Russian fortunes are now seeking new homes. The Philippines, with its strategic location and open arms, is emerging as an unexpected destination. Here, Russian capital isn't just tolerated, it's courted. This arrival marks more than a single investment. It signals a new wave of money, quietly reshaping the local economy. Headlines hint at the change. European fund acquires Palawan resort. Manila startup secures foreign backing. The investors remain discreet, avoiding the limelight they once craved. They're targeting key sectors, forging local partnerships and moving with precision. This isn't about flashy takeovers, but about integrating Russian capital into the Philippine economy's fabric. The story is unfolding quietly, but its impact could be profound. The Philippines stands at the threshold of transformation, as new money seeks stability and growth. The world may not be watching yet, but the shift is underway. Russian investors are betting on the Philippines as their next frontier. The question is, how will this influx shape the nation's future? Will it bring prosperity or new challenges? The answers are being written now, in boardrooms and on tarmacs, far from the public gaze. The era of Russian capital in the West is over. A new chapter begins in Manila. The stakes are high, and the world is about to take notice. The quiet arrival of that jet is just the beginning. Russian wealth once flowed freely through London, Zurich, and New York, symbols of global prestige and security. Oligarchs became fixtures in Western society, their fortunes intertwined with the world's financial systems. But as geopolitical tensions rose, the West turned hostile. Sanctions, asset freezes, and social ostracism forced Russian billionaires to look east. The old havens became traps. Survival meant finding new ground. The Philippines, though not the obvious choice, offered neutrality, growth, and a welcoming climate for investment. Russian money needed markets with potential and governments resistant to Western pressure. The pivot from the Thames to Luzon was driven by necessity and the relentless pursuit of profit. The Philippines' unique mix of opportunity and neutrality made it stand out among new destinations. Russian investors began to see Manila not just as a refuge, but as a launch pad for rebuilding their fortunes. The great migration of capital was underway, reshaping both the investors and their new host country. This shift is more than financial, it's a reinvention of identity and strategy. Russian billionaires are no longer just global players, they are now key actors in the Philippines' economic story. The journey from London to Luzon is a testament to the adaptability of capital and the changing world order. The Philippines is now at the center of this transformation. The stakes have never been higher. Western sanctions against Russia triggered a seismic shift in global finance. Billionaires found their assets frozen, their reputations shattered, and their access to Western markets cut off. The financial fortress of the West became a prison. Bank accounts, real estate, and even daily transactions were suddenly out of reach. The psychological blow was as severe as the financial one. Decades of building global identities erased overnight. The search for new havens became urgent. The Philippines, with its neutral stance and pragmatic policies, emerged as a calm harbor. Here, Russian capital could find safety and a fresh start. The sanctions, meant to isolate, instead redirected billions toward new centers of power. The Philippines became a beacon for those seeking to preserve and grow their fortunes. The global order had shifted, and Manila was now on the map. For Russian billionaires, the choice was clear: adapt or lose everything. The exodus from the West was complete. The Philippines' strategic neutrality is its greatest asset for Russian investors. Unlike many nations, Manila balances alliances with both the US and China, avoiding entanglement in Western sanctions. This neutrality offers stability and predictability, qualities now rare for Russian capital. The government's pro-investment stance, streamlined regulations, and incentives like the CREATE Act make the country even more attractive. Residency programs such as the Special Investors Resident Visa provide a secure base for investors and their families. The Philippines boasts a young, English-speaking workforce and a growing domestic market. Its location offers access to the broader ASEAN region, multiplying opportunities. For Russian billionaires, the country is more than a safe haven. It's a platform for growth. Here they can rebuild, expand, and integrate into a dynamic economy. The Philippines is not just a place to park money, it's a launch pad for the future. The government's openness is a stark contrast to the suspicion faced in the West. Russian investors see the Philippines as a rare combination of safety, opportunity, and potential. The stage is set for a new era of economic partnership. Russian capital is reshaping the Philippine economy, starting with luxury real estate. High-end condos and private villas are snapped up in Manila and island resorts, driving up property values and funding new developments. The influence is visible in architecture and amenities tailored to international tastes. Energy is another target. Russian investors are backing solar, geothermal, and hydro projects, accelerating the country's green transition. Their expertise and funding help the Philippines move closer to energy security and climate goals. The tech sector is also booming, with Russian-backed venture funds fueling startups in fintech, e-commerce, and logistics. This capital brings not just money, but global connections and experience. Investments often flow through complex structures, making their full impact hard to track. But the results are clear: new towers, solar farms, and a maturing tech ecosystem. The transformation is rapid and profound. Russian money is quietly changing the landscape, one wire transfer at a time. The Philippines is experiencing a modern gold rush, with global financiers leading the charge. The question is how this change will shape the nation's future. For Russian elites, the Philippines offers more than investment returns. It's a lifestyle upgrade. Warm weather, stunning beaches, and a relaxed pace of life contrast sharply with Moscow's winters and Europe's rigid social codes. The country's hospitality and family-centric culture create a welcoming environment for newcomers. English is widely spoken, easing both business and daily life. Privacy is another draw. Here, billionaires can enjoy relative anonymity, free from Western media scrutiny. The Russian presence is growing in exclusive neighborhoods, international schools, and luxury resorts. Many are not just investors, but residents, bringing families and integrating into local communities. The Philippines offers a rare blend of opportunity, comfort, and belonging. For those fleeing Western hostility, it's a place to start anew. The sun and sea are powerful magnets, but so is the sense of acceptance. Russian elites are finding not just a safe haven but a new home. Their commitment to the country is deepening. The integration is real, and it's changing the social fabric. The influx of Russian capital puts Manila in a delicate diplomatic position. The government welcomes investment to fuel growth, asserting its right to chart an independent economic course. But traditional allies, especially the US, watch warily, concerned about undermining sanctions. Manila must balance its alliance with Washington against its sovereign interests. This balancing act could elevate the Philippines as a model for non-aligned nations. By attracting diverse capital, the country can boost its influence in ASEAN and beyond. Transparency and strong regulation are essential to avoid being labeled a haven for illicit funds. The government must ensure investments are clean and productive. If managed well, the Philippines can reap economic rewards while strengthening its global standing. The diplomatic dance is complex, but the potential payoff is significant. Manila's choices now will shape its role in the new world order. The world is watching how the Philippines navigates these global tides. The benefits of Russian investment come with serious risks. The legitimacy of incoming capital is often murky, raising concerns about money laundering. If unchecked, the Philippines could face international censure and financial graylisting. Wealth is concentrated in luxury sectors, fueling inequality and pricing locals out of key markets. Political influence is another danger. Powerful investors may seek to bend regulations to their advantage. This could undermine democracy and the rule of law. Geopolitical risks loom as well. Deep ties to Russian capital may strain relations with Western allies. Economic dependence could limit the country's foreign policy flexibility. The challenge is to maximize gains without sacrificing sovereignty or stability. Vigilance and strong institutions are essential. The shadows are real, and missteps could have lasting consequences. The government must act decisively to protect national interests. The stakes are too high for complacency. The Philippines stands at a crossroads, with Russian capital offering both promise and peril. The key question: can the country turn this influx into sustainable, inclusive growth? Strong institutions and transparent policies are essential. The government must rigorously vet investments and enforce anti-money laundering standards. Incentives should steer capital toward projects that benefit the broader population. Rural infrastructure, affordable housing, and skills training. The goal: ensure prosperity lifts all, not just the elite. The future impact of this trend is still unwritten. The Philippines has a unique chance to become a dynamic economic hub. But success is not guaranteed. Careful navigation and political will are required. The choices made today will define the nation's future. Will this be a golden age or a cautionary tale? The answer lies in Manila's hands.